With the long weekend upon us, you might be thinking about heading to the great outdoors, especially if you're visiting Alberta this weekend. There are many beautiful spots the province has to offer. Well, if you need some ideas of where to go, I have a couple of guests who can help you along the way. Eric Bremer is with the Chinook Outdoor Club, and Heather Davis is from Uplift Adventures. Both are outdoor adventure guides. Eric, let's start with you. Give us a quick snapshot of what the Chinook Outdoor Club is exactly.
The Chinook Outdoor Club has actually we're having our 50th birthday this year. So we've been around for 50 years already. And essentially, what we do is we organize trips to the mountains or elsewhere every weekend of the whole year. In the summer, we usually even get a couple every weekend. And yeah, that's about it. That's our core purpose.
So it's all about the hiking. Well, there are some beautiful hikes in the province, of course. So which hikes would you recommend for newcomers or visitors to Alberta this summer?
Do have a wonderful place called Waterton Park. Castle Park is another great place to go to. You go up to the ski hill, and they have a lovely hike back there, Hague Lake. I think it's fairly well signed, and it's really quite a nice place to get to. Drywood Falls is another one that's maybe a little harder to find, but again, you follow the links, and it's only like 4 kilometers, fairly flat, some nice falls. You can put your feet in the creek. So another area that's less busy and still quite a great area to get to.
Okay, so Eric, how can hikers utilize the Chinook Outdoor Club if they want to check out a new hike? What do they have to do?
For our club, basically, it's kind of like the way we work it is you actually become a member through our website. I think it's $15 a year. And then you can download what our hikes are for the next month. And you decide, oh, I want to go on that one. And then the night before, so whatever, you sort of contact whoever's leading it, and away you go from that.
Yeah, so easy peasy sounds simple enough. Now, Heather, let me turn it over to you. What would you tell someone who isn't a big hiker but wants to get into it?
I quite often work with beginners as well. And so I try to encourage people to try with a small objective and to not just look at distance, but to look at elevation. So if they I run these women beginner series and we do 3.5 kilometers and 150 meters elevation gain, right? And it's about that ends up being 2 hours of hiking. So it is easy. But that's where I would start someone if they're unsure about their physical ability and unsure like what they're capable of. I'd just start them on a small objective and then you can grow from there, right?
So, what's your favorite hike in the province, Heather?
Turtle Mountain like never gets old for me. I love that you look down on the slide. You see like the big cracks in the mountain was just amazing, and seeing just like the impact that the Frank slide had on the landscape below is
Yeah.
pretty fascinating. And you see the Great Divide, you see the prairies, you see all of these different viewscapes from the top of Turtle Mountain, and then you have the history component.
So, besides hiking, what are some other great activities you would maybe recommend for someone wanting to explore Alberta?
This year I paddled the Milk River, and that was really cool. It's not something you would do later in the summer, and it is technical, so you would want to go into it with some knowledge, but it was a 3-day canoe trip, and we went down from Milk River down to Writing on Stone, and that was absolutely stunning. And then we have the Frank Slide, which is becoming a very hot spot for bouldering, which is climbing without rope, basically. Activities that I like are obviously hiking and scrambling and climbing, and I like all of it. There's tons of caving around Crow's Nest Pass. Crow's Nest Pass has world-class caving, some through Gargantua and Cleft Cave, and there's just a huge number of caves in the Flathead Range, which a lot of people don't realize. I mean, Crow's Nest Pass is this outdoor mecca of amazing activities to do. The mountain biking is incredible. The fly fishing, just and obviously the hiking and scrambling, which is what I'm super passionate about. And climbing is growing here, but it's still not like a huge thing yet, but it's growing.
Wow, some great advice on where to head this long weekend. Thanks so much for joining me, you two. Well, coming up after the break, we bring you some of the top stories from around southern Alberta. Stay with us.